Good news, everybody. The Leviathan has been nerfed, and it is, in fact, the best thing since sliced bread. That is, in fact, what we would be saying if we lived in the actual reality of Helldivers. But welcome, everybody. We're going to go through the patch 01003104. I don't find it necessary, really, to read that out every single time, but we've got ourselves a little list here. With regards to weapons and stratagems, we have fixed weapons being unable to fire after stimming while using a mounted weapon, apparently fixed. The P92 warrant bullets no longer penetrate when ricocheting. I do recall that being a bit of an issue in the past. And also fixed guard dog text issues. It's probably to let it know not to shoot at you, because seemingly that's what they enjoyed doing. Moving on to the main one, though. Enemies, Leviathans. We have heard your feedback and are attempting to balance Leviathans to more manageable levels. Now, you have to give it to Arrowhead because they're very good at listening to the audience. They do that a lot, and it needs to be applauded because not enough games developers do it well. They do it, but they don't do it well as Arrowhead do, so this is good. The Leviathans no longer cause ragdolling and deal less impulse damage to vehicles. That's fantastic. The ragdolling in this game can get absolutely ridiculous, and I feel like it happens every single patch, or at least when something new is introduced, another ragdolling issue becomes like paramount. This, for instance, I remember being an utter pain in the ass to deal with. I appreciated the fact that this thing in the air had to be feared, you know? It had to be somewhat a danger as well, but the ragdolling and the multiple shots simultaneously without giving you any chance of recovery was just too much to deal with. It sucked the fun out of the game, so this is a massive W. When it comes to the vehicles, don't know how that's going to feel, because I kind of, the whole Michael Bay thing, it gets shot and that's the end of it sort of thing. I don't know. I like that. And if I'm understanding that correctly, it's now dealing less damage. Now, I could be wrong, so do correct me out in the comments if I am understanding this wrong, but don't know how I feel about that. But regardless, the ragdolling, big win. Adjusted spawn rates so you encounter less per mission. Absolutely awesome, because I've evac'd so many times on Super Helldive and had like 3 of these things in the air, absolutely pummeling us. So technically, I guess pre-patch to now, the Leviathans, when you was at the extraction zone, when there was just one of them in the air, that kind of felt balanced. Even like with their capabilities of ragdolling that have now been patched away, that felt like it fit, because extracting should be an anxiety-inducing like moment, you know? So even with the ragdolling and everything prior to that, when you was extracting with just one, it was enjoyable. But like spawning 3 of them, just absolutely pummeling you until there's just all the fun is sapped out of the game. That just became too much. So the decrease in spawn rate is great. I hope it doesn't change that situation at the extract zone, because that's one thing that just stuck with me when fighting the Illumina. If you hadn't already taken that thing out, as soon as you see that thing coming around a corner, you're just like, I don't think we're evacing, boys. So all round, though, I do think that's a bit of a W for the update. Added an additional 1-second delay between shots for target locking. Is that to compensate the 1-second delay it still takes to get up off the floor or even whack a stim in you? Huh? Because yeah, I'm tired of that bug. But yeah, added additional 1-second delay between shots for target locking. But we all know why. Okay, and from what we've all been waiting for, the omelette du fromage of the update, Leviathan cannons can now be destroyed. Yes! Haha! Bitch! Expendable tank absolutely works. 1 shot, 1 tap. Use it. There is, in fact, a video on Reddit that tests most of the viable support weapons. I'll leave it in the description down below, and it also lets you know the amount of shots that it takes with them. And so to finish up, we have a few miscellaneous fixes. There's a bug that's been fixed that calls mission items to disappear when entering vehicles. One for the chat interactions causing weapon switches while using a mounted weapon, emotes and victory poses. And they fixed the weapon grip issues and melee attack issues after using stims or emotes. Now, let's move on to the known issues that are being worked on. I won't be reading through all of these, but if you're interested in reading them yourself, I will leave the link to the blog post in the description down below. However, I want to pick out a few here. Eruptor lacks animation for loading the second to last bullet in the chamber. I know we like detail in games, but holy crap, that's a, a minor detail. But the one thing that stands out the most is the right gauntlet of SR-64 Cinderblock armor is misaligned. Huh. Arse unplayable. That's utterly disgraceful. What the f? That wraps everything up with the patch notes update in this video, but I want to say thank you to a lot of new followers that have arrived on the channel. The laser build video seems to have picked up quite a few views, and along with it, some new subscribers, so welcome. It's lovely to have you here. But also, I want to quickly touch on the fact that we've got a community loadout running at the moment. It's the Malevelon Creek Revenge loadout. It's causing a bit of a stir in the comments. I say comments, I know that there's only a handful, but we've picked the Eruptor as the primary. However, the Senator has been picked for the secondary, and within these comments, a lot of people are kind of arguing really like, why are you deciding to take that instead of this? And if you're interested in joining it, maybe even your comment will make it into the video. But yeah, we're building a Malevelon Creek Revenge loadout. It's quite fun, so welcome to the channel and give yourself a vote on that, and let's see what we can build. But yes, that does conclude today's video. If you have enjoyed your time here, please leave me a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you do fancy hanging out here, click the subscribe button. I'm starting to upload various types of Helldivers 2 content as, I don't know, I seem to have caught a wave, and it's quite cool. So thank you for being here if you are one of the new subscribers, and if you're not, hit the bloody subscribe button.